Parts of Canada's housing market keep defying gravity. Developers are building more new homes than they have since 2012. That's the latest news from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. Our business host, Jeannie Lee, is on the story. Where does it show the strongest housing starts, Jeannie?
Well, Suhana, the backhoes were really busier everywhere, because if we look at these numbers and extrapolate them on an annualized rate, and that's what happens in this case, there were 230,000 plus new housing units that were begun last month. And with these September quarters, we know the tally for the entire third quarter. And you see that jump at the end of that chart. This really shows how much more building there was versus earlier in the year. And in fact, it brings the level of housing starts very close to the last peak, as you say, back in 2012. Now, what was happening in 2012? The federal government was starting to crack down on mortgage rules. So that would prompt a lot of people to kind of rush into the market, and that's certainly what happened. This year, I can look at the factors as the weather. It was really a hard winter, a cold spring, and maybe this is a result of that, this delayed reaction, pent-up demand in housing, and also a little bit of delayed reaction to the lower mortgage rates that we suddenly got. Now, we just saw some of the highlights go by, and we should say that these starts were in both detached homes and what they call multiple family units, which is basically condos, right? And so we had multiple family starts at their second highest level in 25 years. Fewer people can afford expensive single family homes. They're going to buy condos. This is a result of that. In Montreal, in fact, condo starts hit a record, but Alberta saw a 20% drop. No surprise compared with last year, and that is because, of course, the economy has hit that speed bump called the oil price crash.
I'm going to ask you a question I've asked many times, and we've talked about before,
right?
And that's about the housing boom. Can it last?
We'll ask this until it doesn't, right?
Yeah, right. But it does until it doesn't.
Exactly, and we have to say that probably not at this pace that we just saw in the last quarter, and this is described by the Bank of Montreal, for example, as the market went from a called controlled simmer to a rolling boil. And Robert Capstick, the senior economist there, saying residential construction looks to be a bigger support than most expected in this last half of the year. But we probably cannot sustain this level of home building activity for long before excess supply concerns start to build. Although we have been saying that for a very long time, we may continue saying, when is this going to end if there will be another rate cut, which some economists are expecting as well.